All right, hello. Let's talk about my AI operation workflow. There are a few things that we do need to talk about first. Number one, what is Onyx? Onyx is a contextual system for AI to follow to understand you, what you want done, and what you need. Okay? It is literally your own personal AI. It's not just generalized information. Now, let's run into the big problem that we run into with AI, because we need to understand what is AI for that to even make sense as a problem. First things first, AI sucks. Now, a solid 90% of the people on the planet use AI as a search engine. They open up the app, they ask a little question, they close the app, okay? So let's put that to the test, right? First things first, my AI knows my name here, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go, what is my name and what do I do? Now, if you were to ask your AI, odds are you're probably gonna get a response like this. I don't have any information on you. But thanks to this little file down here, I can ask it the exact same question and get a completely different response. Now, every time I open a chat, my AI goes off of all of this, right? This is just a little glimpse of what it knows about me and what it can do for me, okay? AI is not a good life changer unless you are a good user. So let's get into what is Obsidian. And that's the real purpose of this video, right? So I use Obsidian because Obsidian is just a highway system for your AI to use. Now, you know exactly how to get to work because of the fact that we have a highway system with roads and a GPS that can tell you how to track those roads. Now, the way I'm going to put this, Obsidian is the highway system, right? We have a little highway, right? And then that highway opens up into, then the wiki links are the GPS. The wiki links tells it what to open with what. You see how that just opened start because I clicked on the wiki link in here. Now I can go open information. That is why we use Obsidian. Now, that looks strong, and you're probably thinking, okay, why do I need to connect AI to that? Because after a while, you start to get a lot of these little nodes. Let me just give you a little preview. This is what my highway system and my GPS look like. Each of the colors means something else. We will get to that when we get to that. That's a little preview on what my Onyx looks like, and that is exactly what I am selling you. Now, the question is, why do we need Obsidian with AI? Why do we need Onyx? We need it because this thing advances your life extremely fast. Anything you want to learn, you are not learning from scratch. You are learning what you already know. So let's start from the top. I've actually set up a little demo, right? So I have just recently incorporated Gemini. So let me give you a little rundown on why I use the AIs that I use. Number one, I use Claude because Claude is very good at teaching you things. Claude is a very good conversationalist AI. It is really good at breaking things down in a way that you can understand. We use ChatGPT Codex because Codex is a very good architect. If we come over to my cheat sheet, right? Codex helped me build almost all of this. So I have an agent panel. So I'm gonna go to my agent panel. And let's actually talk about what is in my agent panel. So Codex helped me build all of this. And these are all very intensely and deeply made files. Let me give you a little preview on that. Deeply and intensely made files, okay? So when we keep that into account, now we know, oh shoot, this is why we are doing the things we are doing. This is why we're using Codex. Why do we use Gemini? Because Gemini is connected directly to Google. Or this is actually anti-gravity, which is the terminal version of Gemini, but anti-gravity uses Gemini. Point is, Gemini is connected to Google, so why not go straight to the source? But let me show you a little preview on how to set up everything. All right. Now, I just incorporated it, so let's invite Gemini to the party. Hello, Gemini. You are just now incorporated into my Onyx vault. Read start here as well as Claude operations to know what to do, where you are, and what to begin with. If you have any questions, ask. First things first, every time you talk to AI, you should have something of that degree, right? And now here is where the fun begins. It is already reading a list of files. Remember, master context down here. It is already reading from the vault, okay? Oh, there we go, roll. Are we operating as an outside session through, see, it's already understood things that we haven't even talked about in this video. So this thing literally just got invited. You're reading the message. Hello, Gemini, you are just now incorporated. What is the port? Now, I'm going to explain the port as it is explaining the port. So the port is where all of your new information goes. So when you make a new task, say you want to ask a question, or say you have a business venture, say you had an argument with your parents and you need to understand the psychology of that argument, right? Now, remember, this thing is not going to change your life. You still have to do all of the work yourself, right? But it's an accountability structure to help you actually grow from things. It'll not just be your personal yes man. It'll be like, yo, bro, you fucked up. Remember how 2 weeks ago you accidentally broke that vase? Your parents are already upset with you. That's why they had a higher temper with you today. It'll tell you things like that, right? So let's talk about what the port panel is that it is talking about. Do I even have my port panel open? Of course I do. So the port panel, the port is where any outside ideas go because we only have one writer. Now, if you look up an Obsidian tutorial, Obsidian to Claude integration tutorial, there are a lot out there. This one is special because it avoids node inflation. Now, if you go watch those tutorials, those people have thousands of markdown files. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. The more you use it, the more files you're going to have. But if you build those files too quickly, then what is the point? You might as well just use a regular LLM, language learning model, which is what all AI run off of. But in our case, our are extremely highly tailored, quality over quantity type files, right? Which is why we have a singular writer. What is the warden? Read the new definition from the port. We have one writer, right? This way it avoids any discrepancies, okay? What is the warden? The warden is the dormant accountable agent role responsible for guarded intake, judgment, and accountable routing into Onyx. Only writer, okay? Now you have to activate the warden. And the warden goes through multiple things. It goes through a meaning check. It decides whether or not something should be in here. It does a proof check. It goes against the Onyx. And it uses Gemini. That's what I'm about to incorporate. It uses Gemini to decide, is this even true? Like, where did you get this information from? Then it uses an authority check. So it goes through a process I call the X-ray. When you have an idea, it gets scanned against the vault. Now, when it gets scanned against the vault, it is literally asking, is this contradictory? Do you even believe what you're saying right now? Number 4, it checks for an existing home. Now, remember, it is a highway system. Now, what point is a highway system if none of the roads are named? Every road in here is named. These are my quest. These are my regions. This is my system. Let's go into regions. Regions is more of a breakdown on what everything is. We have hubs, right? So every color is a unique hub. Blue is a hub because trading is inside of Quest, right? Open loops is a hub. We have lore as a hub. We have regions as a hub. We have HQ as a hub. HQ is where all of my agents are held. And then we have system as a hub and cloud operations as a hub. And then we have one more little mini one over here, which is my dashboard. All of these things are what I bring to the table. Now, you are more than welcome to go look up a Obsidian setup tutorial. You are more than welcome to go look up a Obsidian cloud tutorial. But I have spent the last 8 months of my life and borderline going through AI psychosis to develop this. It's only as good as you are, right? It does take using it. It takes a week maybe for it to actually understand you. What I did is I have a notebook. I write personally. I go to school. I took a picture of all of my notes. I uploaded them to Claude. I let Claude break them all down into transcripts. I started recording meetings at town hall meetings. I started recording meetings at work. I have done all of this work for you. You're probably not going to go to your next town hall meeting and record the chat and understand civil law on what it takes to build a building. I have done that. You're not going to sit there and manually download every single YouTube video on a specific topic that you want. I have done that. Now that brings me to another really cool thing right here. So we have this. Let's just say we want to learn what is McDonald's food, right? We're going to go into a McDonald's chat. Now we have this beautiful button. It will copy everything in here. Now this is a good way to get quick information. This is a free Obsidian clipping software. You can download that for free on the internet. I do recommend that one. Which then brings me into my next point. There's a lot of plugins here. Now a lot of this is not traditional to Obsidian. As you can see, that previous tab is what your Obsidian will look like when you download it. I put a lot of work into designing mine like this. Okay. So now when you download Obsidian, you'll probably have Graph. You'll maybe have Calendar, I think. I think Calendar is an outside one. And that's about it. So let's actually go in here and talk about my plugins. These are the core plugins I use. I use backlinks. These are the core plugins I use. I use backends. I use bases, bookmarks. All of these are things that AI is going to use. Daily Notes is a very important one. File recovery is also a very important one. Let's go through Graph View. I like Graph View because it lets me know what I'm doing. And I kind of gotten to a point where I know where everything is in my graph. So it's just one easy click away instead of me having to remember the name of it all the time. And then templates, also a very important one. Word count, also a very important one. All of that information usually is displayed down there. I don't know where it is today. And then workspaces. Workspaces is what... Hello? I don't know what just happened. There we go. All right, now let's talk about community plugins. This is where the real juice is. Now, I can't take credit for any of this, so I'm going to put you in a little game. Auto template trigger, you need it. Calendar, you need it. Charts, you don't need it. Claudian, you need it. Data view, your AI will need it. Heat map calendar lets you know, that's what this is. You see how the little circles and the dots? It lets you know if you did work on something or not. You need it. Home page, you need it. So every time you open up your Obsidian vault, you don't forget what you did the day before. Like say you were tired the night before and oh man, what was I doing? It'll be on your homepage. Maps. You don't need this one necessarily, but if you want to incorporate it with your personal life, I would recommend that. I haven't built a lot of maps, not enough for me to show, to be honest. So I would recommend it if your job has something to do with the physical world where you're actually going out and doing things, get maps. I would skip that. Notebook Navigator, that is what this is, or no, that is what this is, right? Way easier to scroll through. It's kind of like the Notes app on your phone. Yeah. Quick Add, you need it. Recent Files, you definitely need that one. Recent Files is this. When you come in here, bruh, that's going to get very annoying. I don't know what that is. Let's say we want to... All of these are recent files. That is why we use recent files. Smart connections. I don't really like this one. It ended up just being kind of cluttery on my screen, so I would not advise that. Smart lookup, again, they work together, but it's kind of just cluttery on your screen. Terminal, you need it. Thumbnails, you don't need it, but it helps you know what YouTube video you're doing because you can import YouTube videos. If you want to import knowledge from a YouTube video, then have that YouTube video get transcribed and then have AI read the node where that YouTube video is. You now have all of the knowledge base for that YouTube video. Now remember, there's no point in making your digital brain smarter if you are not getting smarter. You have to retain the information if you want it to be of any value. Do not become dumb in the era of AI, bro. If you want to learn how to trade, you have to learn how to trade. You cannot just have this thing learn how to trade for you because you will still suck as a trader. right? If you want to learn more about philosophy, more about psychology, more about religion, you have to actually read the files. It will not do the work for you. It's not going to just implement it in your brain. You have to actually sit here and read. Sorry. I know that probably just made a lot of you click off the video, but yeah, that's where things get beautiful. AI has the ability to do this. Explain it in Fortnite terms. There is no reason you cannot learn anything, right? You need to learn how AI works. The setup, Onyx the Vault, your squad's fully upgraded metal 1x1. You do not let random players or unsettled items inside, or your builds get griefed. Okay, the port.md, the airlock, supply drop landing, pad outside your wall, teammates and bots drop loot here first instead of throwing it right into the base. Okay, maybe explaining it in Fortnite terms wasn't the best one. Explain it like I'm 5. That's a way better one. I don't really like the Fortnite one. The Fortnite one only works on like a little bit less complex tasks. Okay, your clean room. You do not let people run inside your room and throw messy toys on your floor. The port.md, the big basket on your front porch where delivery helpers bring new toys. They must put them in the porch basket first. Yeah, that is exactly how I would design the port. The port is making sure that you do not get razor blades in your candy. It's essentially the check. The warden, the helper standing by the front door, he says quietly until you tap him on the shoulder and say, please check this one toy in the basket. So when a toy gets placed in the basket, the warden is like, all right, you little kid, stay out. It's basically your parent. Okay, Eagle Eye MD, this is what the warden actually uses. It's a skill. So the warden is an agent. Eagle Eye is a skill. Now, it is important that you distinguish. If you're going to build this yourself, it is important that you distinguish the two. Like I said, please only have one rider. Things will get messy very fast if you have more than one rider. They will start to write over themselves as one is writing, and it realizes that somebody else is writing. It'll try and go in and rewrite what they were writing to match what you just added / something you put in old. Number 2, make sure you're starting new chats, okay? It's very important that you start new chats so you do not corrupt your context, because if your warden gets corrupted, sorry, 1 second. Let's let it activate Onyx. All right, so I have code words because I'm a schizophrenic freak, but every time you activate Onyx, you say the code word, you see how this popped up? It read front desk. Front desk lets it know everything that's in here, okay? It lets it know what's in the port. It lets it know how many nodes there are. You use the code word to refresh the page. This is basically your Jarvis. This is essentially Jarvis, guys. If you made it to this far into the video, you're actually hearing what this thing is. I have low-key made Jarvis. Now, that sounds extremely intense, but if you've made it to this far in the video, you know that I'm not bullshitting you. Oh, man. There's a lot of things in here. So let's do activate warden. Do not write yet, but let's discuss the port. Let me explain to you what the warden does. So it's going to read the warden skill, right? And then it is going to read the port. As you can see, it read Eagle Eye, which, like I said earlier, is the warden skill. The warden is just a person. That's the code word. And then is going to read the port. It is now going to break down the entire port. These are all things that I kind of need to go over and review. Now, what is a manifest? Now, the goal of a port drop is to create a manifest, okay? Wait. Let me make sure I'm reading all this right. Yeah, so a manifest is just the finished product. Whenever you finish something up, it gets added to the manifest. The manifest is then, all of these at one point were manifest files. So this was at one point a manifest file, right? Let's open this one up. Let's see what's even in this one. Let's give you a little preview. Work uncovers work. That is normal and healthy. It is grow the web doing its job. What is not healthy is fixing every discovery the moment you find it, because then the current task never closes and the queue grows faster than it drains. I figured that out on the 8th. This is all trial and error, okay? Now, what is Grow the Web, you ask me? Let's talk about that one, because these are my doctrine files, okay? These are the very files that I've decided are important for this thing to be able to operate efficiently. The web is supposed to grow. When new information shows up in the work, a concept, a task, a lesson, the reason behind a decision, it becomes a node automatically without being asked. Cloud runs inside of Obsidian, so of all the agents, this is the one file that it goes. Capture the thing, link it both ways, log the change. Do not wait for a make a note instruction to build the map. The rule has a floor. File real information. Never invent doctrine, okay? Let's talk about what doctrine is. Doctrine gets talked through. New doctrine does not blindly get added. So let me give you a little glimpse into who I am, okay? Let's go into my lore file. Philosophy, Trogo Auto Egocrat. We talk about balance, AI as a tool. This is a very important one. The people who learned the tool early built their competitive advantage around fluency with it. That window is now open. Guys, this is the importance of using AI. That is the beginning and the end of what it is. It can be used right and wrong. Different strats and different models will not respond the same way. Consistency of a tool is not consistency of experience. The master concepts exist to onboard any AI to the way this brain works. It's not the tool's memory, it is the source of truth. Do not anthropomize it, aka do not OD it. Don't go too far into AI and don't go too little into AI. Do not trust beyond what you can verify. Very important, guys. Then it breaks into more doctrine files, okay? Onyx must stay legible. What the hell is the point if I can't understand it? A system its owner cannot read is not personalized. It's the tool system. Now you're seeing what you're paying for if you buy mine. I have made safe keeps to make sure this thing doesn't fuck up. Okay, it's very important that your thing does not fuck up, right? That's just a little preview. I give you a few little glimpses into my tools. If you would like mine, like I said, you can DM me, XUZTIN on Instagram. I will put all of this in the bio. But I hope this was a little bit better of a glimpse into what this is, why it is valuable, and yeah. Welcome to OnyxOS. That's what we're going to be calling it. Love you. Bye.